Most four-season tents are lying to you. Marketing says they handle winter, but at -30 in the Alaskan interior, nylon becomes glass and plastic snaps like a twig. I have spent the last 5 years torture testing the best gear against the worst conditions. I've had stoves fail, frostbite on my face, and equipment shatter in my hands. This isn't just a camping trip. This is a 7-year autopsy of what actually keeps you alive when the mercury drops. We are testing the Arctic oven, the stoves, and the sleep systems to absolute failure. If you are planning to sleep on the ice, you need to see the mistake that almost cost me my toes.
This is the Arctic oven tent. It's a massive beast of a tent, but it'll keep me very warm. Arctic oven with vestibule. I can only use my hands just a little while outside of these gloves before I get frostbite. Ow, it hurts. It's all right, I gotta get these gloves back on, but I wanted to show you something. This is frostbite right there. On a previous video, in a previous episode, I was out ice fishing in -20 and I took my gloves off for just about 2 minutes, and that's what happened. I also have some frostbite on my head right there and along this ear right there. I've lived in Alaska over a decade. I've never had frostbite. It's kind of a badge of honor, but it's painful. It hurts. Before I do anything else, this tent has to come up, and I've got to do it before the sun goes down. And you can see right there that sun is starting to set, and it's -20 right now, and when that sun sets, it's gonna get bad out here. Oh, okay. So this tent is an awesome design. But one of my complaints is there's nothing they can do about this, but this metal in sub-zero Alaska is super cold and quite unpleasant to grab with your hands. And these poles can get stuck together if the ice seals them up, and that makes it difficult to take it apart and get it back together. Okay, I need to rush on this because I can't stay too long without gloves on. Wow, that iron is cold on my hands. This is usually the hardest one because everything is stiff and frozen. Excellent. Okay, as you can see, I'm out of breath every time I take a breath. My breaths are shallow because every time I take a breath, that super cold air freezes everything in my nose. Not easy to do by yourself. Okay, that's good. That sun is starting to set right over there, and our main shelter is up. Now we have to get in there and set up the wood stove. It's time to open up this tent and get our home set up. Next step is to set up the cot. If you're wondering why I'm not setting up the wood stove first, it's because all of this activity would make it hot in here. Just me moving around in here is making heat, and if I turn on this wood stove, I'll start sweating in here. I don't want to do that yet because I have to go out and cut firewood. So I'm going to set up the wood stove last, and then I'll go out and get my firewood and then get ready to settle in here for a long night. Beautiful, like a trampoline. Oh boy. Oh. I know this might sound crazy, but out here you need to drink a lot of water. This is central Alaska, and some people joke that this is a frozen desert out here. This is all the water I have. I forgot to bring a big jug of water to survive the night, so I'll show you how I'll solve this problem. I have a really brilliant little water filter and boiling pot that I can't wait to show you later in this video.
The shelter was up, but at 20 below, a tent is just a windbreak. The real battle is the stove. And this is where most people burn their shelter down or freeze trying to get it started.
Let's set up this wood stove. This is an amazing design because this is the smokestack. It's basically a sheet of very thin, I think, stainless steel. This is a baffle, and then the amazing foldable modular titanium wood stove. As you can see what I'm doing here, I'm folding this up like a cardboard box. And it's super thin titanium. Set it up right here. This goes outside. It's a spark arrestor. This kind of keeps sparks from flying up. And then this is what is quite difficult. We have to turn this into a smokestack. These little rings are meant to slide off. Everything you do in life is a trade-off. In this case, instead of having to lug a whole bunch of stovepipe pieces around, you get this, and you trade portability for convenience. I'm starting to think I might just carry some pieces of stovepipe instead of fighting with this, risking cutting my hands and just the hassle of setting this thing up. This somehow is supposed to turn into a stovepipe. Just the noise alone is enough to make me not want to do this again. That is one ugly looking stovepipe. And into this. I think that's what she's supposed to look like. That is a train wreck. I find it to be borderline dangerous to use. But for this evening, it'll get the job done. You ready to chop some wood, get warm in here? I certainly am. I need to get on some snow and wash my hands out in the snow. My toes are cold, my nose is cold, my hands are definitely cold, and I'm ready for some warmth. Okay, I'll be back with you very soon. We got about 45 minutes before the sun goes down. Let's go find some firewood. Come with me. I haven't started this chainsaw in about 3 months, and it's negative 20 right now. Let's see if it starts. The tree has been down for almost, I guess, maybe less than a week, so there's plenty of good firewood on this tree. It's been standing dead for quite a while. It's beetle kill. That means it's been standing dry, and so it's ready to burn right now, which makes great fuel. This is dead spruce. I'm gonna cut this entire tree up and take it with me. Let's load this up right now. This little wood stove doesn't require much heat at all to cook you out of there. And one of the big mistakes I see people make is putting way too much wood in there, and then you develop a problem. Okay, come inside, let's get this stove started. I have about 20 minutes until sundown, and I've got to get this fire started. It's minus 20 degrees right now inside this tent, and it's gonna get a lot colder out there tonight. All I have is a flint, a little bit of fat wood, and a little bit of spruce that we just chopped up. So I'll show you how it's done. This is called fat wood or fat pine. It's little pieces of the base of a dead tree, and all the sap goes into this, and it's very flammable and extremely dry. So what I have here is just a little backpack with some emergencies. This beautiful Randall knife that my wife got me for Christmas. This is a Randall Model 23. It's a good general all-around knife for the backcountry, especially in Alaska. Very well made. This is a fire starting kit with a mag bar. Let's see how we do. Oh yeah. Okay, she's making a lot of sparks already, and you can see the hot flames coming off of it. That's fantastic. That's what we want. Oh, that's what we want to see. You guys see that? There's a little flame in there. Yay, that's what we want. It's such simple things that give you such excitement in Alaska. Look at that. That is smoke coming out of my chimney, out of the wood stove in the Arctic oven tent. Yep, that looks really good. Our first piece of spruce. Don't get carried away with how much wood you put in this thing. You think it's a big wood stove. It doesn't operate like that. I can feel significant amount of heat already coming out of this thing. I've lost the one bottle of water that I had in here, and I'm out of water. So there's a solution to that, and there's this. And it is both a water filter and a titanium cooking pot and a drinking cup all in one. So I scooped up a whole bunch of snow, but I wanted you to see how dirty the snow is. That's why you never eat snow. Snow's usually pretty disgusting. And that's why we're gonna boil it. So I'll now put this on the stove. Okay, I'm thirsty, I'm ready for some water. I hope this hurries up. That looks pretty good. We'll put one more on top. I just burnt my finger on it, but that is a beautiful sight right there. So, one of my favorite meals or snacks in the backcountry is Vienna sausages, or as my wife calls them, Vienna sausages. Oh yeah, it's starting to melt quite nicely. And the Vienna sausages are warming. So for a second course tonight, I have something else for you. And that is I have some caribou moose bratwurst in this little bag right here. That's gonna be great. So when we started, we were at the very top of this, and we can see we're almost halfway down now. I think our Vienna sausages are ready. Oh, you can see the steam coming off of them. You know they're warm. As my old Cajun grandmother used to say, tourne ma chère, ça c'est bon, ouais. Simple pleasures. And this is how we will fry that delicious moose, caribou, and pork sausage. It looks like that. I've already sliced it. Okay, this is ready. A full cup of snow at the top of this thing gives me this much water you can see in the cup. So now let's filter it with the gray all water filter. The filter is in the bottom, and it's kind of like a coffee press. You can feel the pressure pushback from the water, and it's going to take a little while, but it's filtering the water as it goes through. Now, this should be safe to drink, potable water, so I can drink it straight out of here, or I can pour it back in my water bottle and process another cup of snow. That sausage is starting to fry. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's smelling really good right now. All right, let's find out how this is. Oh, that's delicious. For a carnivore and someone on the carnivore diet like myself and my wife, this kind of meat is an absolute dream. I wish we had smell-o-vision. If you want to see how we made this, check out the moose hunt video. And after we process the moose, I show you how I ran it through the grinder and made and smoked this sausage myself. I'll put a card right here. Check it out. I'm very ready to get in this sleeping bag in just a few minutes here and lay by this wood stove and ponder my existence, or ponder the, lint in my belly button or whatever. Maybe I'll say a few prayers. Thank God for this life. I thank God for my beautiful wife. What an amazing woman. Her taste in men is debatable, but she's an incredible woman. And God knew what he was doing when he put us together. And what a blessing our marriage has been.
Fire is temporary. Insulation is forever. You can have the best stove in the world, but at 3 a.m. that fire will die. Here is the only sleep system that stopped me from freezing when the stove went cold.
Tonight's sleeping bag is a -40 bag made by Mountain Hardware. It's a Mountain Hardware Phantom -40 Fahrenheit sleeping bag. It's the type of sleeping bag they use to climb Mount McKinley, also known as Denali here in Alaska. It's all goose down, and it's covered in a Gore-Tex shell to resist moisture, and it's extremely comfortable. I used it for the first time last week ice fishing at -30, and I stayed very warm. And for a boy that grew up on the swamp of South Louisiana, I still get cold real easy, and this bag is definitely a necessity. To get into this bag like this, cover it up. Oh, that's fantastic. Man, I've been working for this all day long. Okay, this is heaven. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning to you all from Alaska. I don't really want to get up right now because I'm nice and warm, but it's time to take apart this tent and get my butt out of here. We've had a fantastic night. It's -22 degrees this morning, and it's a bit cold in here. My hands are freezing because it's so cold, so I have limited use of my hands this morning while we do this. Every time I do this, I learn lessons. And one of the lessons I've learned from this trip is I'm buying myself some real stovepipe. This is not getting it done. I don't like this thin sheet of material that I have to fight with in the cold. All right. Wow, I'm really pushing it without these gloves on. It hurts. One last check to make sure everything's out of here before I collapse that tent. I'm supposed to be on the carnivore diet. My wife's gonna get real upset if she sees a Jelly Belly wrapper in the tent. So we gotta burn this, and let's not put this in the video. Here's a little pro tip from the backcountry. Never store your tent wet and solid covered with ice like this. That's a bad deal, because if it's covered in ice like this, as soon as the temperatures warm up, you're going to start growing mold in this tent. So when I get home, I will have to lay it out somewhere warm, let it defrost, and then fold it and pack it and put it away. And I'm ready to get home because I'm hungry and tired and a bit cold, and that's okay.
What a trip. Turning snow into survival paid off. If you're thinking winter hot tenting, start small. Plan water twice and embrace the challenge. The line between life-threatening misery and comfort out here is razor thin. It usually comes down to a few thin sheets of material, a metal box, and the will to keep moving until the work is done. We don't just trust this gear to keep us alive, we torture test it. Watch how fast the reality changes once that wood stove finally kicks in. You have to pack down the snow, what we call snowshoeing the floor. Otherwise, once the heat kicks in, you'll sink into a slushy mess. The foundation has to be solid before the heat can happen. This metal box is the difference between surviving the night and enjoying it. This is a portable wood stove. It effectively turns a nylon tent into a heated cabin. But a stove is useless without fuel, and in the deep snow, fuel doesn't come easy. Heat isn't free, you have to earn it.
I look for dead standing spruce dry, seasoned, and ready to burn. If you get wood that's too green or wet, you'll spend your whole night fighting smoke instead of sleeping. I process everything down. Big logs for the overnight burn and fine kindling to get the draft going. You can't just throw a log in and hope. You have to build the fire system perfectly or you'll wake up at 3 a.m. shivering. This is the moment everything changes. Within 10 minutes, the temperature inside this tent swings by 100 degrees. Outside, it's minus 20. Inside, we just hit 80 degrees. I can shed the heavy layers. I can dry out my boots. The panic of the cold vanishes and is replaced by this absolute silence. There is a primal satisfaction to hot tent camping that you just don't get in the summer. You are living in a bubble of life surrounded by a frozen void. People ask me if I get lonely or scared out here. The truth is, the solitude is the point. There is no cell service, no emails, no traffic, just the crackle of the spruce and the wind in the trees. It's a reset button for the brain. Dinner isn't fancy, just simple calories to keep the internal furnace running. But when you've been working in the snow all day, hot meat and melted snow water tastes better than a steak dinner in the city. If you think you could handle a night alone in the deep freeze, let me know in the comments. This was just one night in the deep freeze, but we spend months out here.
So today we're testing the Arctic Oven tent from Alaskan Tent and Tarp. And what we were doing, testing how long it takes to go from -10 to something more comfortable for sleeping, let's say between 50 and 60 degrees. After being at -45 for quite a while, plus 30 feels like a heat wave. 5 months of testing this Arctic Oven tent in the extremes of South Central Alaska. We've gone from snowstorms to heavy wind to heavy snow on the tent. Chopping some wood. We're making a little wood fire. We're going to talk about why we love this tent. This is something you would use for car camping, or if you're going in on a heavy-duty ATV, or maybe even a larger aircraft or a boat that flies you in. This works really well. This is not something you'd ever want to pack on your back. After 5 months of testing this tent, I've learned a few things. This area here, you can call it a garage, a gear garage. It's one of the most valuable things for this tent because it gives me a spot to put gear, to keep things dry, keep my boots dry, but not necessarily in the tent with me. The Rainfly is a very, very water resistant material, and it does a great job keeping the interior of the tent dry. The gem of this tent is the smokestack. That stove jack comes out the top of the tent. It's made of a fire resistant material. This here it's an air vent. This is the window we have closed right now because it's so wet. Tie downs at many points keep this thing strong in heavy wind. Come on inside. Let's have a look. What we have in here is a very basic setup, and it's a wonderful setup. The centerpiece of this tent is this wood stove. It's metal. We have a fire going. It takes very, very small amounts of wood to make this thing very warm. I have the screen door open right now because it's still producing a lot of heat in here and I can vent it, and there's no bugs right now. Yay. It's a rare sight in Alaska, no bugs. These smokestack pipes usually will nest inside of each other and collapse, but I've got some changes that I'm working on, and so this is a temporary system, but you get the idea. It goes through the ceiling. There's no smoke in here. It works out very well. These cots, I believe, got an Arctic Oven quite a long time ago. This is a Western mountaineering sleeping bag made out of down, a small pack of a pillow, and my Filson coat. And to get us off the floor and to be able to have somewhere to sit just like I'm doing now, folks, is a game changer. When you're sore from hiking all day, when the ground is wet and cold, we will hang our jackets and wet clothes up here, and it will be dry in the morning thanks to the heat and the circulation of this wood stove. This white material is made of a breathable material, moisture wicking, and fire resistant, and that's what makes the Arctic Oven tent so special. There are tie downs in each corner for a gear loft where you can hang a loft up in the top if not using the wood stove, or you could just drape another clothesline from that end to that end, or a net, and you can put all of your gear up there off of the floor. And what we were doing, testing how long it takes to go from -10 to something more comfortable for sleeping, let's say between 50 and 60 degrees. I bet it will not take long. Started at -10, so let's see where we are. Oh, when I open this door, I can feel the heat right here. In less than 30 minutes, we went from -10 to 60 degrees inside this Arctic Oven tent made by Alaska Tent and Tarp out of Anchorage, Alaska. This is heaven. We have a clear night and the aurora forecast is high, and I am super excited about that because that means we should see auroras or northern lights across the sky tonight, dancing rivers of neon green. It is a magical, almost a spiritual event. And so we're camping out tonight. And guys, it's quiet. It's peaceful. There's no computers, there's no flat screen TVs. This is real life, real living. The air is fresh and clean. There's no traffic. I see 1/2 to 3/4 moon in the sky, and listen. This is where it's at. This is why we live here. This is why we endure the long winters, the inconveniences, the expenses, the hard work it means to live in this environment. We have dinner, chicken Vienna sausage in the can, or if you're from deep south, my wife pronounces this Vienna. Very little wood. Make a lot of heat in this little metal stove. The biggest mistake you can make is overheating this thing, overfiring it inside this tent. Yep, it's already getting quite warm. I love Vienna sausages. And this is what camp looks like tonight. So it is about, I think, about 25 to 30 degrees outside. Check this out. Up there is the thermometer. And just in the short time we've been in here, we've gone from freezing temperature to almost 70, and it's gonna get hotter in here. So we will probably need to open this thing up to get some air. So inside the Arctic Oven tent, they have a lot of vents like this one, and you can get some airflow through here.
Alaska doesn't care about your gear brand. It only cares about physics. If you respect the cold, you can survive it. If you ignore the details, it will kill you.
Swinging splitting maul, it's a bit of an art form. You aim here, not here. Aim here, feet wide apart. Let the weight of the maul do the work. I'm not swinging very hard, and as I swing, my right arm is just used to guide, like that. How not to do it? What happened there is my aim was off, and the maul came down here. Try again. And once again, my aim is off. Try a third time. The difference is my willingness to let the maul do the work as opposed to me swinging it like this. When you swing it like this, you inadvertently push it out and you miss your aiming point. Splitting wood for an Alaskan favorite pastime. It's also great, as you can hear, great exercise. You always want to keep your metal axes out of the snow, out of the mud, out of the rain, best you can. You don't want them rusting. It's not like you can drive down the street and get a new one when you live in somewhat remote Alaska. If you want to make kindling, a good sturdy knife like this Benchmade serves a great purpose. What we're doing is we will put the knife into the wood like this, then use a second piece of wood as a hammer to drive it home. And folks, that is a much safer way. What you see on many TV shows about Alaska, where people do this and they swing just barely missing their fingers at every point. Very dangerous way. Eventually, one of these fingers ends up where you don't want it, and the finger comes off. So it's best to do it the long way, but also the safer way. Use your knife. Knife goes in the wood, and then you use another piece of wood as a hammer. I believe this is called the Benchmade backcountry. If anybody knows for sure, let me know. All right, we have firewood. It's always a wonderful thing to have. A good sturdy piece of wood like this one. I prefer birch, but this works. This is spruce, and it makes for a great base to put your wood. Split it. Our wood stove is burning. It looks good. We're warming up in there. Got Vienna sausages for dinner. Kind of excited about that. What we have in here is a very basic setup, and it's a wonderful setup. The centerpiece of this tent is this wood stove. It's metal. We have a fire going. It takes very, very small amounts of wood to make this thing very warm. I have the screen door open right now because it's still producing a lot of heat in here, and I can vent it, and there's no bugs right now. Yay. It's a rare sight in Alaska, no bugs. These smokestack pipes usually will nest inside of each other and collapse, but I've got some changes that I'm working on, and so this is a temporary system, but you get the idea. It goes through the ceiling. There's no smoke in here. It works out very well. These cots, I believe, got an Arctic Oven quite a long time ago. This is a Western mountaineering sleeping bag made out of down, a small pack of a pillow, and my Filson coat. And to get us off the floor and to be able to have somewhere to sit just like I'm doing now, folks, is a game changer when you're sore from hiking all day, when the ground is wet and cold. So what happens is, how we do that is cold air will come up from this ground. And so what you want to do is you want to put all of your gear under here. And so that insulates you from the ground, from that cold from coming up. And that helps tremendously. And this is how we sleep. We will hang our jackets and wet clothes up here, and it will be dry in the morning thanks to the heat and the circulation of this wood stove. What do we eat when we're in the back country? Nothing fancy. This is what I like. Vienna sausages. They're fantastic. I'll put them on the stove, pop the lid, they'll warm up, and it's a hot meal in a can. Here's the inside of the tent. This white material is made of a breathable material, moisture wicking, and fire resistant, and that's what makes the Arctic Oven tent so special. There are tie downs in each corner for a gear loft where you can hang a loft up in the top if not using the wood stove, or you could just drape another clothesline from that end to that end, or a net, and you can put all of your gear up there off of the floor like a hammock. There is one thing to note. This floor is not waterproof. As you can see, it's very damp and very wet. We were on snow, now we're going to be on water. So we make it a habit of bringing a towel and wiping up any water, mopping up in the corners. But this is a fantastic tent.
If you want to dive deeper and see every moment of these trips in